We are live. Hey, welcome to the live stream. I know this was a little bit of short notice. I guess in the past, this was kind of happening every week. Now it's very sporadic. And I guess if I do a live stream, usually I'll send emails and stuff like that. I didn't get a chance to do that. I did put it out in the Patreon community. So we'll see who's here. If nobody's here, that's also fine. That's my fault. All right, hold on. Of course, I'm having internet issues. Hey, well, Cesare is here. Let's see, Cesare. Oh, hello there. I almost forgot about the live stream. That's an interesting statement. You almost forgot. I will stay for a quick hello for 10 minutes, then I have to go. All right. Again, that's probably my fault. This is wasn't very much notice for people. Yeah, because usually, Cesare, you're putting messages in the comments way before it starts. Helena, hey, Helena, how's it going? I was just thinking about you. How's it going over there? John, long time no see, John. Hey, you guys. Oops, let me come back in 10 minutes. Okay. So there's really no formula or format for this live stream. I found some teaching that I'd like to share from the book Wanting Enlightenment is a Big Mistake. It's a very interesting title. I was just talking to the group. When was it? Was it this morning or the other day? About how Zen Master Sung Song has never written a book. Now, he has a lot of books. That's because they mostly come from Dharma talks. I would say probably The Compass of Zen is probably the most popular because Shambhala released that. But it was all compiled and edited by Hyung Oxenim. Some of you know Hyung Oxenim. I did an interview with him some time ago. It seemed like it was a long time ago. So there were talks given. Some were given in Korean. Some were at the Zen Center Hwageso in Seoul, Korea. I believe some were kind of grabbed from America. And it was made into a book. And same with the other books too. Dropping Ashes on the Buddha. The book Only, I think it's, the book Only Don't Know. So those are the teaching letters of Zen Master Sung Song. These were just letters that he collected. So he would often, this was back in the old days, right? Before email. So somebody would send him a letter. He would read the letter and reply with the letter. So he would mail it off. So that turned into a book, which is actually a very good book if you're maybe new to Zen, interested in Zen, or if you've been practicing for a while. It's an interesting book because, first of all, the book is broken up to different kind of sections. And there are different topics like relationships, work, formal practice, things like that. And so those were, again, letters written to him and then his responses. Very good book. But he also did, I guess he wrote the letters, but he didn't really write any books. If you haven't already, let us know in the chat where you are living. Mr. Jet Mango is here. Is this your first time on the live stream? I know I've seen your comments. People are also changing their usernames too, so I'm not recognizing some people. And probably maybe give a few updates. Okay, Helena, yes. My friend Tosca. I would imagine a few people in here remember Tosca. She was very active in her live streams. My friend Tosca is in her final stages of the cancer and cannot walk or speak anymore. You will remember her from the online Sangha. Please chant Kwanzaa Mbosa for her. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, I reached out to her and maybe it was a little bit too late. I didn't even know about Tosca's condition. I know I haven't heard from her in a while. And then I believe it was Kathy Park Judo Popesini. We were in a meeting and she told me about her condition. And then we also, I sent out the chanting request. So some of you know, for the Quantum School of Zen, I sent out all the chanting requests. So people will make a request and then I will send that out in the email. So when I heard about it, I did send a message to Tosca, but haven't heard from her. But I didn't know she was in that stage. So Kwanzaa Mbosa, yeah. Very wonderful person. I always had very interesting exchanges with Tosca online, of course, in the stream, but also lots of emails from Tosca. Yeah, things like this really can wake us up. I was just talking to somebody recently. It was today, actually. Boy, the time goes by fast. About sometimes we can get stuck in our own good situation bubble. So you might hear this teaching from Zen Master Sung Song that says a good situation is a bad situation. A bad situation is a good situation. I thought I'd make a video about this, actually. Maybe I'll do that. Because we all want a good situation, right? And when we get that good situation, it's very easy to fall asleep. Oh, everything's going well. I got everything I need. I got things to make me happy. And we fall asleep. I don't need to practice. Things are going good. I've heard this many times too, right? People really start thinking about meditation when things are not going right. So we live in this bubble, and then this bubble pops. Boop. Either something happens to us, maybe we become sick, maybe a family member dies, maybe we lose a job, or maybe a relationship ends. Many different things can kind of happen. And then it wakes us up again. So this is where the teaching, a bad situation is a good situation, meaning sometimes when these kinds of things appear, it wakes us up. Holy shit. Time will not wait for us. We think we have all of this time, but it will not wait for us. So what am I going to do with the time I have left? Because we don't even know how much time we have left. So yeah, it's a very sad time. All right, let's see. Cesare, yes, Kwanzaa Mbosa, Mr. Jet Mango. Yeah, first time on a live chat. Well, good. Welcome. Where are you living? And I'm sure that's not your real name, right? Mr. Jet Mango. I do like that, though. Cesare, yes, Kathy wrote something in the chanting request. Yeah. Yeah, she sent it to me, and then I sent it off to everybody. Anyways, if you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. I'm calling it the Everyday Zen live stream because, as my teacher always told me, what isn't Zen? We make something, we get something. Let's see. John, we have been chanting for her daily. Good, with Nancy's Hedgepath chanting group. That's great. What time is that again, John? So Nancy Hedgepath is a teacher in the Quantum School of Zen, and she's been doing just chanting during the day, which is great. I might do something like this too. I figured, very early in the morning, I'm not functioning very well, very busy in the evening, and my time in the day is shrinking. That's a whole nother story, though. Anyways, I'm glad Nancy's doing some chanting for her. It's wonderful. Yeah, Helena, Tosca is a very special lady. Indeed, indeed. Let's see if I got this right. Babo, my son used to call me Bobo a lot, but I'm reading this as Babo. Oh, hi everyone, Rob. Okay, Rob. Hey, Rob, good to see you. Glad you are here. Where are you living? By the way, if this is also a good chance not to only hang out, but if you have any questions about Zen, meditation, your practice life, any kind of question, you can put it down in the chat. I do want to share something, if we have time, from this book, Wanting Enlightenment is a Big Mistake. Great title, by the way. Does anybody know why that's a mistake? I'd be curious to see your thoughts on that. All right, Mr. Jetmingo, currently in Prague. Awesome. But originally from Ireland. Apparently, my ancestors are from Ireland. I haven't been there yet. My parents went there a few times, actually. I'd love to go there. But so you're in Prague. So do you practice with any Zen center in Prague? I'm just curious. Be curious to know. Okay, John, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. All right, 5:30. I got to do my math. So for me, so that's the evening. I thought she did something in the afternoon. Does she ever do anything in the afternoon? So for me, that would be afternoon because it would be what? 2:30 p.m.? Yeah, 2:30 p.m. Western Pacific time. All right, John says wanting something, anything. Wanting enlightenment is a big mistake. I mean, this could be a whole nother video too. When I do these live streams, I always get ideas for videos because, as you know, a lot of content comes my way. A lot of it has to do with something I've read, or mostly exchanges from people. People send me emails, or there's some discussion that I thought that stood up, and I'll make content about that. I'm guessing everyone here is subscribed to my YouTube channel. Am I right about that? I never understand live streams now, especially as they're becoming more popular on YouTube. It seems like most people are just kind of scrolling through. I'm not even sure how it works. I know if there's a live stream in my feed, and if I click on it, you can kind of scroll through different live streams. People are doing some interesting things. Now, I have to say, my 24-hour live stream I did, I quite enjoyed that. But it's kind of like what I'm seeing lately. People are absolutely doing nothing. I mean, nothing. There's one that I see, and I'm not sure why it's popping up in my feed, and it looks like they're doing it almost daily. It's two guys in the garage drinking beer, doing nothing. I guess people want to see that. I mean, I feel like that my live streams have been more intentional, I guess, connecting with people, answering questions, maybe talking about something. I know the 24-hour live stream there was a lot of nothing going on in that. So I do get it. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. If you haven't already, let us know in the chat, where are you living? And again, if you have any questions about Zen, meditation practice, life, any kind of question, put it in the chat. I used to, in the old days, I'm thinking, it seems like old days now, even though I haven't been streaming very long. 3 years now? Or has it been 4? Maybe 3. I used to stream these and then record them and then take excerpts. So from the questions and answers. And that was the original questions and answers series. It came from the live streams. And now I guess since I don't do them as much, the question and answer series on my YouTube channel are questions that people email me or put in the comments of one of my YouTube videos. Yeah, so it's changed. All right, Mr. Jet Mingo. No, I have not. I've never been a part of any specific meditation school, okay, or Sangha or anything. No problem. Unfortunately, the center in Prague only works in Czech language, and this is like very hard to learn. I heard it's very hard. It's one of the most difficult languages to learn. Besides, is it Hungarian? I heard Hungarian is very, very difficult. All right, John, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for doing the math for me. Rob, I'm getting that right. Babo, Rob. Hi again. I'm in the UK. Awesome. You know, it's interesting. I used to think that because I live in the West Coast of the United States, that if I did live streams, I would get people from the West Coast or East Coast. How many people are here from the United States besides John? Because I was like, wait, it's 12 p.m. Pacific time. Oh, most people have real jobs. I'm not saying you do, John, or don't. But in my case, most people have real jobs, so they're not available at this time. And I guess in the East Coast, it's 3 p.m. Pacific time, so people are also working. But I realize in Europe, it's later. It's evening, right? I would guess it's what, 9 p.m. in some parts of Europe, or 9 or 10? All right. Elise, I remember I always mispronounce your name. Hello, the live stream just popped up. And remember, I used to join in. Awesome. So I'm glad this is popping up in people's feeds. So I'm assuming that means you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, because I used to do this when it was consistent on the Empty Gate Zen Center YouTube channel. And that was a weekly thing I was doing. Then something happened. I think I was traveling, the holidays came around, and I never brought it back. But then I decided to start streaming on my YouTube channel. So anyways, I'm glad that popped up. At least it's relevant. All right, we have a question, Mr. Jet Bingo. Dear Sanim, by the way, this word Sanim in Korean is referred to a monastic. And I am not a monastic, just to let you know. I am the teacher in the Quantum School of Zen. So you might hear this term Pope Sanim, but that's kind of in a very formal situation. So you can just call me Jason if you want. All right. I have a question. If already interesting, anytime this word pops up, it makes me very curious. If I or free will doesn't exist, and it runs the show, then on what it depends. In other words, if I choose to meditate or decide to have a career in business instead, is there any conscious control over anything? Decisions create karma. You're right about that. So everything we do, everything we say has a natural result. Or we can say thinking makes your karma. And karma is just thinking. Okay, right. Clear. But if it's not me choosing, right, but my decisions are a result of my past actions, habits, etc., then it all runs on autopilot. And there should be no influence over anything. But I yet feel some people became Zen masters and some decide to have another path like it's there. Okay, I'm continuing. Your questions are long. But yet I feel some people became Zen masters. Okay, and some decide to have other life paths like it's their own choice. Good. This is a hard concept to talk about. People attach to this concept, and it just makes them more confused. So attachment to thinking is always going to make us confused, right? Just to say that first. All right. But there is something I think is very important. Boy, I remember talking about this in old live streams. This is great. I feel like nostalgia here. There is attachment to name and form. There is no attachment to name and form. That means the mind before thinking. Then there's using name and form. Now, this is all made up, but I think for teaching purposes, it's very important to talk about. So most people are attached to name and form. I create a strong sense of I. I am this thing. I am separate from this world, and I want to be happy. So if you mess with my happiness, then I will do something to you. Or this is my stick. I love this stick because this stick gives me happiness. So that's called attachment to name and form. Yes, it's created by mind. It's not good or bad. We have to make sure that's clear too. Good and bad is made by thinking. But the problem with attachment is it creates ignorance because we don't see the truth of this I, truth of impermanence, because this stick will eventually disappear. This room I'm sitting in will eventually disappear. My relationships will eventually disappear. My job or career will eventually disappear. Why is that? Because everything appears, stays for some time, then disappears. You'd be surprised of how many people don't perceive the truth of this. So we suffer. It's part of the Four Noble Truths, to be honest. It's the grasping after something that creates suffering. So we call it attachment to name and form. So the Buddha also saw this very clearly. That's why he decided to do different types of practices. He experimented with a lot and eventually just sat under the Bodhi tree and really looked in and investigated this life closely. So when he had his enlightenment experience, some say that when he perceived the morning star, that his mind and the star became one. So that means he had this experience before name and form. This is the experience before thinking. So, at that moment, we all had this experience before thinking, just for a very short time. Your mind, my mind, the stick, and the sound, not separate. So we say that this is an experience before name and form. Okay? So we have attachment to name and form. We have no name and form. The Buddha called this nirvana. Or let's say in Buddhism, it's called nirvana. It's called enlightenment. It's called don't know. It's called before thinking. There's many names for this experience, but people attach the name and form, so they'll argue about it. All right. So let's go back to the Buddha. This experience before name and form. Did he stay in this nirvana state? Or did he stay in this enlightenment state? He wanted to, but eventually he got up from the tree, and for 49 years, he used name, and form to teach other people? He did a lot of talking. Read the sutras. So, attachment to name and form, no name and form, using name and form. Attachment to thinking, the experience before thinking, using thinking. Attachment to I, the experience before I, and using this I. This third point is the Bodhisattva path. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Sorry that was so long. Anyways, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Everyday Zen Livestream. Very good question. We're just here hanging out. So yeah, let us know where you're living if you haven't already. Let's see. Let's get back into the chat here. All right, Helena, nothing to attain always reminds me of the Heart Sutra. Right. Michael's here. Hey, Michael. I was just thinking of you about something we talked about during our one-on-one session. I'm going to get back to you either today or tomorrow about that thing we talked about. Do you remember that? So Michael says, coming in from New Jersey, no real job this week. Yeah, join the club. I feel like that week after week. Ask my wife. All right. David. Hey, David. I'm very happy to see you. It seems like it's been a long time. David's here. He says hello from UK. When's the last time I heard from you, David? Sometimes I look these things up. I'm sure you can tell me, actually. All right. It's been a while. Good to see you, David. Ellis. Am I saying that right? I know I asked you this all the time. I live in Norway. It's 9:17 p.m. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. John, I've heard that. What's this? I know I'm not going to say this right. Dian? I don't want to say dine. Navajo language is very hard to learn. Got it. Yeah, I heard some of these can be very difficult. Cesare, well, got to go to sleep early. Bird at 5 a.m. tomorrow practicing. Yeah, that's about when I get up. We'll check out the rest tomorrow. Yeah, I guess this YouTube records this, and I don't take down the recordings. I think in Empty Gate Zen Center live streams, I didn't hold them. I just leave them here. Cesare says bye. Goodbye, Cesare. John says bye. Michael says bye. All right, how do I pronounce this? Huisen? Hui. Sorry about that. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Let us know where you are living. All right. Michael, many people live in a human world with implied permanence via materialism. Wait, let me see. The chat's going and it's moving. Okay. Many people live in a human world. Okay. I would say maybe half of the time that may be true. With implied permanence via materialism of what creates, implies, assumes the universal sense of disconnection, in my honest opinion. Thank you, Michael, for talking about that. Mr. Jet Mango, thank you. Yeah, very good question. Yeah, and if anybody here has any questions about Zen, meditation, your practice, life, any kind of question, put it in the chat. We're here for a little while. I don't have a set time to do these. I do need to get going at some point. Ricky's here. Hey, Ricky, good to see you. Ricky says hello. Ricky's in Alabama. Cool. Let's see. So we have 2 people from the US here. And I think everyone else is outside from the US, as far as I can tell. What time is it in Alabama? Is it 2 hours? Is it 2:30? Oh, okay, got it, John. Dine. Of course, I butchered that one. Dine. Yes, what the Navajo calls themselves. Got it. That makes sense. Yep, 2:30. Well, lucky guess. I should know my time zones. But I communicate with people in so many different time zones that I just lose it. So I got this app on my phone that tells me what my time zone is, and then it lists all the different time zones that I select because I talk to people, Asia, Europe, Australia, and US. So there you go. Roddy is here. Boy, it seems like it's been a while since I heard from you. Has it been a while? It seems like it's been a while. Good to see you. Hello from, is it Naples, Florida? It's good to see people I haven't seen in a while. I always say that maybe I'll go back to doing the weekly live streams. I mean, what helps with the weekly live streams is people are used to it, right? Like this was kind of, I don't know, was it the beginning of this week? I woke up and decided, you know what, I should do a live stream today. And I did. But I remember when it was on a consistent basis, it kind of built up a community. Some of those people are here. So there's an advantage of doing something consistently. I'm just looking at time right now. Time is shrinking in my world. It's very sad. It's like probably we're all in this state. I want to be doing all of these things, but the time to do that is shrinking, shrinking, shrinking. A lot of that has to do with, I'm not blaming my kids, but my kids are involved in different things that need attention. So that requires my time. Yeah, I've been struggling. I was doing these one-on-one consultations for anybody in the world. And I just can't make it work. Let's just say financially make it work, if that makes any sense. So mostly, most of you know that I really depend on Patreon to keep this project going. So the live streams, creating videos, editing videos. I try to create teaching content for the Patreon community and also on my website. Ellis, yeah, time is shrinking. I can relate. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, a lot of this has to do with I started a family very late. I think I was 40 when Miles was born. 39, 40, something like that. When they were younger, it was kind of easy. I know that doesn't make sense, but it was. Now they have a lot more going on. Like my son's going to a different school now. So my daughter goes to one school, my son goes to a different school. So my wife and I are trying to figure out how to get them picked up, how to get them dropped off, all that kind of stuff. Some of you may know what I'm saying. But it's important to me to keep this going. So I'm going to do it. I still am doing stuff with the Quantum Zen Online Sangha, probably more now. I know, some of you know I teach for Empty Gate Zen Center. But since Marshall White Jito Popsneen became a teacher, I do a little bit less, meaning I used to give talks every month on Wednesdays. Now Marshall's doing it. I was doing 4 retreats a year. Marshall did my retreat in July, so now I'm doing 3. So I'm doing a little bit less. I do give interviews, so I do want to make this announcement too. If people would like to meet me for a one-on-one, now for Empty Gate Zen Center, it's the koan interviews. So the first part of the interview, we talk about practice. You can ask questions, anything like that. Then we do koan practice. So if you're interested in that, go to Empty Gate Zen Center website. Just type in Empty Gate Zen Center in your favorite search engine. And if you go to schedule, look for Sundays. Now, I was doing 2 Sundays a month where I would give these one-on-one meetings. But I'm going to increase that because the weekends I can flex with time a little bit more. So I'm thinking about doing every Sunday, so then more people can join, if that makes any sense. If you're on the Patreon community, I'm also doing once a month consultations. So what's going to happen with that? Once a month, and I think it's going to be the second Monday of the month. So those who want to, some people are on Patreon and don't want to be involved in anything. They just want to support my project, which I really appreciate. But I am offering this time. So we're going to get together and we're going to start sitting together at 12 p.m. Pacific time, which is this time right now. We'll sit together in a group, and then in a breakout room, I will bring people into the breakout room one by one. And again, we can answer any questions you have, talk about your practice, anything that's going on. So I'm plugging that because it's free for you. At least the Empty Gate Zen Center one. Patreon, people are supporting at $5 a month, if that. All of that helps. So there's a lot I'm trying to offer to offset some of this. All right, let me just get back to the chat. I'm talking too much about this. All right. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I'm just going back through. Sometimes I miss things in the chat, so I'm going back. By the way, if you haven't already, let us know in the chat where you are living. Okay, that was Cesare saying bye. All right. Eric, good, calling from Boise. Eric, good to see you. I'm supposed to be in Boise in October, leading the one-day retreat. You going to be there? I have to juggle some things around in October now because I may be volunteering at my son's school on Fridays. And usually that retreat in Boise, I'll leave on Friday, get to Boise like Friday afternoon. Lately, it's been giving that Dharma talk on the Friday. So usually someone will give a talk and I'll answer questions. Do the retreat on Saturday. Hang out with the Sangha in the evening for dinner. Sunday, get on the plane and go back home. But I have to see if I can get Friday covered to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do it online. I prefer being in Boise because if you haven't been there, everybody, Boise's awesome. Boise is in Idaho, if you're not from the US. All right. I might have already plugged your name, Eric, but just in case I missed it. So I'm just kind of going back all over this stuff. All right. Ellis, you are saying it right, Jason. Ellis. Right. And you said time or Shinkran, I can relate. What is time? It's 12:39 p.m. So remember what we talked about earlier. Attachment to name and form, no name and form, using name and form. Attachment to time, the experience before time and space, and using time. It's very interesting. Yeah, John, don't fret. Soon the kids will be driving themselves and you will have a whole new set of things to worry about. Oh, yeah, I'm ready for that. I was looking at this too, right? That will also change. So time expanded, time shrunk, and then it will expand again. I was talking to Kendra about that. My wife, by the way, if any of you don't know, we were talking about retirement or what we're going to do. I said, what are we going to do? Because my idea of retirement is traveling the world, leading retreats, giving Dharma talks, or moving into the Zen Center and kind of like do what I'm doing now, but full time. So I figured for the stuff I do for the Quantum School of Zen, Empty Gate Zen Center, and for my project, the Jason Quinn Zen, is about almost 20 hours a week. More than 20 hours a week is going to family related stuff, cooking, shopping, taking care of kids stuff, this and that. So if I can increase that to 40 hours, then I would be happy, right? Isn't that our lives? Only if this thing happened, then I'll be happy. If I can get this thing, I'll be happy. If I avoided this thing, I'll be happy. But this is called attachment. Because if you just let go of wanting, but also let go of not wanting, that might be a new video too, then true happiness appears, meaning this moment is already complete. I may die in the next hour, then what? What's all that worrying about and grasping matter? Doesn't matter. So wake up just now. Then, oh, good. Everything's great. Time is not shrinking. Time is not expanding. It's 12:41 p.m. Very happy to be here with you all. All right, that was a Dharma talk in itself. David, it's been a while. Yes, it feels like it's been too long. Yeah, okay. So John, don't fret. Yep, soon the kids will be driving. All right. Jason, dear Jason. Yeah, correct. I realize it is always now. Yeah, to be honest, I know this is some kind of spiritual hippie teaching, like now is the time. But if you really look at the truth, there's no other time. The past is an idea. The future is an idea. Also, this moment is an idea. Of course, we have to plan things. Maybe we digest something from the past. Of course, that helps this moment. If I didn't plan things, how would we do this live stream? It would have never happened. Right now is the time we can do it. So I realize it's always now, and we always at the same point in space and time. Thinking creates space and time. This point changes eternally, yet it's always here and now. So it remains untouched, like a clear mirror, and it's infinite. So what's the end goal of it? For example, I became Zen master and save all beings. Then what? That's a good question to ask. There are still desires in me. I know they aren't worth pursuing, but if I drop all of them, this is a desire by itself. Very true. So what's the point of saving all beings if we are already saved? Ultimately, that was the end of the Diamond Sutra. I just picked that up, and actually, let me see what the variant is. Keeping this moment in mind, helping others through countless incarnations, life after life. Does it get boring? Does a Zen practitioner ever make a mistake and quit his path? True awakening is forever, but we always need to go through this over and over again each lifetime to recognize our true nature again and again. So all of this is just thinking. So let's go in the beginning. You said now is an idea. Space and time, another idea. Clear mirror, great idea. So what's the end goal? I can answer that very easy for you right now. So what is the end goal? sitting here on this chair answering a question. That's it. We call that saving all beings. Saving all beings is mostly an idea in our head. If you perceive the hunger in your belly and you ate food, the name for that is saving all beings. If you perceive the truth in someone else's hunger and you gave them food, the name for that is saving all beings. It just means this moment. How can I help? But we get caught up in the idea of saving all beings, so that creates a filter in which we perceive the world. Now we're in delusion. Buddhism means take away delusion. Even a saving all beings delusion, okay? It's all delusion. So there are still desires in me. I know they're not worth pursuing if I drop all of them. This is a desire, right? Attachment to name and form, no name and form, using name and form. Desire and aspiration are different things. I want to do something helpful. But what's interesting about just even saying that is if we truly perceive this moment, then we just respond. I have the desire for my kids to be happy. There's nothing wrong with that. You're a human being. So you have thinking and you have emotions. Yeah, many people are attached to the desire. So in Buddhism, it's broken down into the 5 desires. Let's see if I can remember this. Sex, food, money, sleep, and fame. The biggest one is actually fame, but it doesn't mean you want to be famous, but you want to be recognized. I want them to know that I'm a good person. I'm doing a good job. I'm this great bodhisattva because I just donated all this money to a temple. This is if you read the Emperor Wu and Bodhidharma, they had this exchange. These desires are not good or bad. So this makes Buddhism different from other religions. It just has a natural result. If you are attached to these 5 desires, attachment means clinging, holding. The natural result is suffering. If you let go of these 5 desires, then you're free. Doesn't mean the desires are not there. How do we use these 5 things to help this world? It's quite simple. Some people become Zen masters because they want to look, oh, I'm a Zen master. I'm this great teacher. I know people have done that. Some use the title to help connect with other people. I know a lot of people, like, they just read the word Zen master and think that Zen master knows something. That's delusion. So attachment to name and form, no name and form, using name and form. The Bodhisattva way means coming back to the world of delusion and using delusion to help this world. True awakening is not forever because there's no such thing as forever. There's no past, there's no present, and there's no future right now. So true awakening is now. And it's the only time you will ever be awake. Which is the good news. If you were in a dream for the last 30 years, wake up right now. If you were clear for the last 30 years, wake up right now. Whatever you do now makes the next moment. So if this moment is clear, your whole life is clear. All right. Just have a few more minutes here. Thank you for joining the live stream, by the way. I appreciate you all. This is the Everyday Zen live stream. If you haven't already, let us know in the chat where you are living. You don't have to. All right, Eric, thanks, Jason. You're welcome. Ricky, I hear the best advice to such question is just keep practicing. I feel that's good advice. Yeah, sometimes it is. I mean, it's good to do that, right? But some people need candy. So we give people candy, but the most important is make sure you take that candy away at some point. Otherwise, they become very attached to you. We've seen this in a lot of spiritual practices, and even in Buddhist and Zen communities. People get very attached to the teacher, and then there's a huge problem. Ellis, using name and form is very simple, but we need to experience that before point. Exactly. I'm sorry I didn't make that clear, but you're completely right about that. In order to use name and form, we have to have the experience before name and form, because that's how detachment disappears. Very good point. So nice seeing you again, Jason. Checking out from the stream. Yes. Mr. Jet Mango, very clear. Thank you. Good. Anything else before we go? Very happy to be here today. I'm always thinking of ways that I can help you all or support you all or encourage you all, whatever you need. I'll take only one. It's enough, right? Good. Your mind is complete then. Now I'll stop giving candy. Yeah, maybe before we go, if there's no other questions, I'll share this teaching I wanted to share. It might relate to what we've been talking about. So this book is Wanting Enlightenment is a Big Mistake, Teachings of Zen Master Sung Song. I will end with this story. Maybe that's how I'll do this. I'm sure it's going to change from time to time. So I'll just read it. A monk rushed up to Zen Master Sung Song at Hwage Temple in Seoul. Zen Master, I have attained nothing. I've attained this nothing I. I am completely free. Already that statement has a mistake in it. Do you see it? I have attained nothing I. I am completely free. So, of course, Zen Master Sung Song said, you've attained nothing I? Yes, I have completely attained. There is no I. So Zen Master Sung Song said, so I ask you, who has attained nothing I? The monk said, I have attained nothing I. So Zen Master Sung Song took the stick, hit him, bam! And the student yelled, ow! Zen Master Sung Song said, if you have completely attained nothing, then who said ow? This monk was completely stuck and could not answer. If you completely attain nothing I, how can you say I? How can you say freedom? How can you even open your mouth? The monk hesitated for a few moments, but I. Then realizing his mistakes, he just bowed to Zen Master Sung Song. You must find this mouth's true master. Don't make I, don't make freedom. Don't make nothing. Don't make anything. So this is amazing because this story points to everything we've just been talking about in this live stream. If you're just joining this live stream, go ahead and rewind. It's not the idea about name and form or before name and form, enlightenment, no enlightenment. Just wake up in this moment. Perceive it clearly and just respond. This is what can truly help our lives. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being here on this live stream. Great turnout today. Thank you. Ellis, it was inspiring. You're helping. See you next time. Yeah, I'll see you all next time. I'm not sure if I'll be doing these weekly, but I will be doing these more often, whether that's once a month or twice a month. So just make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. And when I usually will post the live stream in advance, like 3 days before. You can get notified when we go live, and then you can be here. Helena, thank you, Jason. Yeah, thank you, everyone. It was very wonderful to be back with you all. Very good questions, and have a clear day. Take care, everyone.